Welcome to Pets in Paradise TV, the show that explores the special relationship between humans and animals in one of the world's most beautiful places, Hawaii. In this episode, we'll see how the sport of dock diving has gained popularity and what it'll take to get your dog to take the plunge. Then, the science behind how a wet dog gets dry. You might want to stand back. Plus, one man's mission to save what he sees as beauty while others disagree. Then, learn all about the Chihuahua in It's All About the Breed. Pets in Paradise TV starts now. Welcome to Pets in Paradise TV. In our first segment, we learn just what's happening when a wet dog is shaking water off his coat. Here's more. We know that when a dog shakes, it's nature's way of drying off, and drying off quickly. An average-sized dog can shake off 70% of water accumulated in its fur in as little as 4 seconds. Getting dry quickly is an important survival technique. In a cold situation, a dog needs its fur to stay warm, but it can't if its fur is wet. Fur keeps a dog warm by trapping air between fur fibers. If water gets in, the insulating properties of the fur goes away. Just letting the fur air dry would take too long and would be far less energy efficient than shaking it off. It was not completely understood how dogs can dry themselves so quickly and efficiently until some researchers at Georgia Tech began studying it. Using slow-motion cameras, the researchers were able to see just how a dog does it. The process starts with a quick turn of the head, followed by the spine rotating from front to rear. As the spine twists, the dog's loose skin rotates even faster, flinging the water out of the fur and away. A dog's skin is similar to a human's, each with 3 layers, but it's different in the way it's attached. Human skin is very tight and rigid on the body, where a dog's skin is looser and has much greater movement. It's believed that a dog's loose skin came about in order for it to be easily dried. And if you're curious about the speed of the shake in relation to the size of the dog, it does make a difference. A large dog shakes at a moderate speed, while a small dog shakes like crazy. That's because a small dog needs to shake faster to generate the same amount of force to get the water droplets off. The shake is not exclusive to dogs. Other animals use a similar shaking technique for the same reason. The physics involved with shaking have gotten the attention of some companies. For example, the manufacturers of washing machines would like to improve the spin cycle to get more water removed while using less energy. But whatever physics are involved in shaking, dogs already have it down to a science and are masters at getting dry. Just don't stand too close. Coming up later in the show, we learn all about the world's smallest breed, plus find out what motivates these dogs to take to the air and just how far they can go. Meet Colossal, a gentle giant who is 15 years old, a great swimmer, and a trusted companion. He has unusual feet, big droopy lips, and a really heavy coat. He's a mix of 2 breeds. Can you guess which ones? 15 years ago, on a balmy summer night, a Labrador Retriever and a Newfoundland fell in love, and presto, Colossal was born. Did you guess the two breeds correctly? Labradors and Newfoundlands are closely related. Both were bred from the St. John's dog back in the 1800s and were used as working dogs by fishermen in Canada. They are both big dogs with heavy double coats, strong and sturdy bodies, and are terrific swimmers because they have webbed feet. Those droopy lips and jowls, though, do cause for a lot of drooling. Colossal, a Labrador Newfoundland. In this segment, we focus on the wild zebra dove. We learn how some view them as a nuisance and others see their beauty, and how something as simple as your loose hairs can be harmful to them. Zebra doves are found all over Hawaii. Many see them as pests because they're usually the uninvited guests at any outdoor restaurant or beach picnic. But there are a few people who take these invasive birds under their own wing.
These birds are variously called the zebra dove. That's the most local name here. There were three separate populations: China, Indonesia, and then Australia.
Dixon Smith sees the beauty in these invasive creatures where many people don't.
These birds are very clean, and I think that's one of the reasons that they were so popular with breeders in that parts of the world that they came from. They're not excitable, they groom themselves thoroughly, don't carry insects.
Not everybody agrees with Dixon. In fact, the Humane Society reports that more than 12,000 zebra doves were killed in Hawaii in 2008 by wildlife services and other pest control agencies. This represents one of the largest number of bird species targeted in Hawaii. While different methods have been used to keep this population under control, something as simple as human hair has been shown to have detrimental impacts on this bird population. The hair gets tangled in their feet and can actually cut through their fragile limbs. Dixon has dedicated a good part of his life to catching these entangled birds, untangling them, and setting them free.
So the first thing I do is just set up a little feeding spot, let them know there's food here, and that as they're coming in, I take a survey of who is sort of a triage situation, who needs the most help. We can fix this on the spot, and about 50% of the time we can. Just snipping hairs, putting a little antibiotic on the foot, and then releasing.
But not all birds are that lucky. Some of them have wounds beyond Dixon's first aid ability. Those are brought to his friend Laverne Fitchett, who knows just how to get these birds back on their feet.
Okay, after Dixon brings me the birds, I wrap their feet. I look at them and I wrap their feet. The easy ones, I remove the hair. This one has hair and it's embedded in there. It's starting to become overgrown. And sometimes if the hair stays on too long, the toes fall off, like this foot. I find all kinds of hair on the bird's feet. Sometimes it's thin gray hair, blonde, and sometimes dark. The thin hair, the blonde or gray hair, I find that more difficult to remove because it's so fine and you have a hard time seeing it.
The birds are also known as the barred dove and peaceful dove. They were reportedly brought to the Hawaiian Islands in 1922 from a Singapore dealer. By the late 1930s, these doves grew to be one of the most abundant bird species in the islands. They can be found in dry lowlands, agricultural fields, suburban and urban areas. Their mating coos are now integrated as part of the Sounds of Paradise.
Very satisfying to remove pain from a creature that I can help.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. What one person may think is gross, others find majestic. And thanks to those compassionate few, these invasive birds are not being treated like foreign pests, but as part of Hawaii's ohana. Among hundreds of dog breeds, the Chihuahua has a large presence. From taco commercials to movies, this little guy has a big reputation. Here's more about the Chihuahua, and it's all about the breed. Today, it's all about the Chihuahua. Chihuahuas are named for a state in Mexico, where they are believed to have originated perhaps as long ago as 300 BC. Not surprisingly, they're the smallest breed of dog, and they've been a popular breed in the United States since the late 19th century. Being the smallest breed, Chihuahuas are generally 6 to 10 inches high, although some can grow to heights of 12 to 15. They usually weigh no more than 6 pounds, with the preferred weight being at about 2 to 4 pounds. There are basically two types: the apple or deerhead Chihuahua, one having a short nose and rounded head similar to an apple, the other having longer noses and elongated heads like a deer. They come in two coats, the long coat and the smooth coat or short hair. Neither coat requires very much maintenance. They come in a number of colors and patterns. As with many other breeds, the temperament of its owner can determine the temperament of the dog. Ill-tempered Chihuahuas can be easily provoked and are not good in homes with children. Chihuahuas generally do not get along well with other breeds, and if they are with other dogs, they prefer other Chihuahuas. They love their dens and are known for burrowing into piles of laundry and bed linens. They'll learn tricks and a vocabulary of commands, but they won't fetch. It's often said that if you throw a ball for a Chihuahua to fetch, they'll just look at you thinking, "You threw the ball, you go get it." Chihuahuas have no idea how small they are and are ready to stand up for themselves even when the opposition is far bigger. They don't rush into confrontation though. They'd rather stand back for a moment and assess the situation. As for health problems, Chihuahuas are prone to dental problems, epilepsy, and seizure disorders, and sometimes are born with hydrocephalus, an overly large head that can often be fatal. Chihuahuas are the only dogs who are born with soft spots in their skulls, much like humans, and must be handled gently for the first 6 months while the skull is forming. The trembling you see in a Chihuahua is not a health issue, but simply brought on by stress or excitement. They can also suffer from low blood sugar, but that condition can be easily remedied by diet. Chihuahua puppies are adorable, but because of their size, they require some special attention. They have small bladders, which makes potty training a bit more difficult than other breeds. They are also prone to having fragile legs, so it's best to keep puppies off tall furniture where they could be injured by jumping to the floor. Because they prefer to be around their own kind, having more than one Chihuahua is not a bad idea. They love to play together, snuggle, and even groom each other. And now you know all about the Chihuahua.
10, 9,
For centuries, dogs have been more than just man's best friend.
8,
They make us laugh, keep us safe at night.
7,
They've been our eyes, help us walk.
6,
We've used them to sniff out bugs and bombs.
5,
And just when we thought they could do it all, we found another amazing thing they can do.
3, 2, 1.
They can fly. In this segment, we explore the sport of dock jumping.
Want to go for a swim? We saw a dock dogs competition on ESPN, and kind of a light bulb went off, and we thought Cleo would be great for that. So we started throwing the ball and asking her to stay and then run and jump after it. Come on, girl, come on, go get it, girl.
This is Cleo, who has just recently taken up the sport of dock jumping. Dock jumping, also known as dock diving, is a sport where dogs compete in jumping for distance or height from a dock into a pool of water. All breeds, big and small, can compete. It doesn't matter if they jump 5 feet or 25 feet. To the dog, it's all about having fun.
Good girl. We're giving her a warm shower, loosen up the muscles today, and tomorrow, hopefully, we'll be ready to go for dock dogs.
There are a number of dock diving clubs around the country, including Ultimate Air Dogs, Splash Dogs, and the club that Cleo belongs to, Dock Dogs.
We're here at the big day, ready to go, see how she does. She's pretty excited looking at the water, so wish us luck.
A dog's skeleton was built with the ability to jump and leap. Their shoulder bones are disconnected, allowing them to have a greater stride length. Dogs have powerful muscles, and their legs can propel them forward, leaping to chase and overcome prey.
All right, here we go. First practice jump. Ready? Come on, girl. Go get it. Not too good, but it was her first time. I'm happy that she went in. Some dogs, I think, stop and don't do it. So we'll see if she can get a little more air, a little more distance this time around.
While Cleo keeps practicing, let's learn more about the sport of dock diving.
This is Caddis. She's a 5-year-old Chesapeake Bay Retriever from Spokane, Washington. And my name's Julie J, and this is her favorite sport. So I'm gonna set her up at about the 36-foot mark. This is a 40-foot long dock. She's gonna sit and stay, hopefully. I'll go to the end of the dock and I'll release her. And she'll chase the toy through the air to try to catch it. That's what she's trying to do.
One thing all these dogs have in common is an insatiable drive to chase after their favorite toy.
When you watch most of the top dogs in the world, they're nuts like this, some even worse. So you want a dog that will do anything for that toy because they have to jump on a dock that's 2 feet off the water into a pool. And dogs are very detail-oriented. So in order to be successful, toy drive is a must.
Dogs have an inborn desire to hunt. That same animal instinct comes in handy in this sport. The key component to training your dog in dock diving is to encourage them to love the water. That's the element that makes this sport fun. Then find ways to harness that obsession to chase a toy, whether it's their favorite tennis ball or stuffed toy. Once the dogs fixate on that make-believe prey, they'll go to great lengths to get it. After that, it's a matter of working on their sit stays and timing to make sure they're leaping to their greatest potential.
ESPN a few years ago made a system that they used to do the long jump in the Olympics, I believe. And it's a computerized system where it records the dog taking off and where they hit the water.
Once the dog jumps, you can stop it like this, replay it, and the system's already pre-calibrated, so as soon as he lands, you can see that. Go back and forth. He landed right here. You can click on the screen, and right down here, it shoots out your number at 16.7.
Unbelievable.
Hi, I'm talking about a sport where dogs jump off a dock. We tease them up and you let them jump after their favorite toy. There are 2 different methods. There's the place and send where you throw the toy before the dog jumps, or the catch method where the dog tries to catch the toy as you throw it in the air. It's a great opportunity to have a huge relationship with your dogs and let them fly.
Just like any sport, the more confident the dog gets, the more it can achieve.
My dog, Indy, is a 3-year-old female Belgian Malinois. I have been jumping her for a 1.5 years. She currently is the world record holder for the Purina Incredible Dog Challenge, jumped 33 feet 10 inches. And she's also ranked #1 with Splash Dogs, Dock Dogs, and Ultimate Air Dogs. She's an incredible little girl. She's very tiny and she's got a huge heart, and I am so thankful to have that relationship I have with her.
Just like Indy, Cleo has a close relationship with her owner. And it's clear that she's also building a great relationship with the water and appears to be a natural jumper.
Well, she did great. On her second jump, she jumped 18 feet 10 inches, which is right about here. That means her tail jumped right about here. and that's jumped her right out of the amateur division. So she's now on her first competition jumped as a semi-pro.
Amateur or semi-pro, these dogs are having fun, and their owners are right alongside, enjoying the ride. That's it for this episode of Pets in Paradise TV. Mahalo for watching.